I wanted to set out today a very clear indication to these very important people. I mean, the training providers are critical to getting our program right for the benefit of learners and businesses. I wanted to set out today for them a clear direction of travel, a sense that the government had very well-defined objectives, knew where it wanted to get to, and wanted to work with them on how we plot the journey to that destination.
And you was talking a lot of detail around the light touch approach that you're looking to.
Yes, I mean, providers have been saying to me for years, whether they be private training providers or colleges, that the last thing they want is micromanagement. They're quite tired, I think, of the bureaucracy, of the heavy-handed approach that government has sometimes taken. And so I'm determined that we have a system which is flexible, responsive, dynamic. To do so, we have to trust our providers. Now, I made very clear there will be no excuses for people who don't come up to the mark. And actually, that's what good training providers say too. They say we don't want the people who won't deliver the goods, can't deliver the goods, are simply not willing to deliver the goods. We want support for high quality providers, and that's what the government's determined to give through the kind of light touch regime you describe.
And you mentioned ladders in your speech as well.
Yes, I talked about navigating a ladder. I'm not sure you navigate ladders. You certainly climb them, don't you? Yes, what we really want, I suppose, is a very strong emphasis on progression in the system. Progression means that learners can go from the very first interface with learning, which might be from disengagement or from taking time out of the workplace, through pre-apprenticeship training, into apprenticeships, and then to high-level technical skills. This very clear, progressive ladder, very accessible, very transparent, enabling people to move from one level of skill to another, is what I'm creating. And I wanted providers to be aware of that and to work with me on designing that ladder.
And you also mentioned key and functional skills.
Yes. Well, that received a rapturous reception. But what it's indicative of is the fact that this is a listening government, a government that wants to build its model of government around proper consultation. I've been listening very carefully, both in opposition and more especially, of course, in government, to what the association has said, what providers have said, what colleges have said, about the difficulties in tooling up to deliver those functional skills on this very tight timetable. What I wanted to say is that we're not going to put you under pressure to deliver something poorly. We want this to be right rather than to be quick. And so I said to people, yes, continue to work on it if you've made progress to the point we've got to now. Yes, I still want you to think about those issues. I want you to plan for those issues. But I'm not going to put you under this unacceptable pressure, which I felt would have damaged the interests of learners because it would have limited the interest of providers. So I've really given people a respite from that unnecessary pressure, but a very clear message. This is something we need to talk through, get right, consult on over the coming weeks and months.
And what's the date for key and functional skills?
Well, we've delayed the date. We said that we'll look again at this until next year, and the pressure that providers were under, of course, was they were having to put something together far too quickly. Some providers have done a lot of work on this, don't misunderstand me, but people were saying repeatedly, if you put us under the pressure, we simply won't be able to deliver. So we're going to look at it again. We're going to look at it in the spring, as you know, and we're going to listen hard to what providers say about how we can get this right. That's in the interest of providers, but most especially, you know, it's in the interest of learners, and it's learners and employers that we're delivering all this for.